Hey guys, Neomis here. Now for today's video, I know it's been a while since you've heard that. 34 days. But Eredivisie, been cancelled. Liga, cancelled. Done, finished. What does this mean for the Premier League? I want to use this video today to kind of discuss what is going on with the Premier League. Is the Premier League like Liga, like the Eredivisie? Or are we more so going the Germany way, like how the Bundesliga are planning? Here are my thoughts and my views. I'll be giving you a bit of facts, but leave your opinion, whether you agree or disagree. Love to hear your thoughts. Please subscribe, view some of my older content. Now, let's get started. So 34 days since my last video and lots of things have been happening, particularly over the last couple of days. The Eredivisie is now cancelled. 3 hours ago, Ligue 1 has now been cancelled. These are all the main highlights. These are the notes that I've taken according to this. So here it is. Eredivisie cancelled. There will be no champions, no promotions, no relegations. Present standing will get European places. That's the situation in the Eredivisie right now. A lot of clubs are pissed. Obviously, Ajax, they will get the European place, even though they're in first place. They're not champions, but that is the situation there. Now, we don't know what's going to happen to Ligue 1, who have just made that decision today. And I know they were supposed to come back and start training on the 11th, but that is now done. Ligue 1 has officially been cancelled. There will be no football, and this is by the French government, until September 1st. So there won't even be any games played behind closed doors. And for them, unfortunately not yet, things like promotions and relegations and champions just haven't been decided yet. And I probably figure sometime over the next week, I would say probably the 11th of May, that kind of week, I could see a decision being made then in terms of what that will look like going forward. And my guess would probably be something the same, if not very similar, to what is going on in the Eredivisie right now. Then you take a look at someone like Germany. Right now, Germany are planning in the Bundesliga to return by mid-May, but they will play in empty stadiums. And you could see the reason for that being, like, if you've not been watching the news, coronavirus in Germany has been low. They have dealt with everything there that's going on right now exceptionally well. So you can understand why they've made that decision to be able to still continue, but behind closed doors. Fine, absolutely fine to be able to for them to be able to do that. And then you look at, let's say, La Liga and Serie A and what's going on with them. Spain and Italy have one of the highest rates in terms of death and infections, and the UK aren't far off with that. So I think once we start hearing on what's happening with La Liga and Serie A, which, to be honest, if the trend is that the Eredivisie and that Liga are going to cancel their seasons, and if you correlate it based on what's going on with COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen, people, the Premier League, it is looking more likely now that the Premier League is going to get cancelled. Now, for Arsenal, this is not great. I guess when you start getting into nitty-gritty in terms of what our qualification of European place is going to look like. But what it would mean is that Manchester United fans will be somewhat happy that Liverpool won't win the league, because I see something like that happening, that if they do cancel the season, there will be no promotions, or there'll be kind of no champions. I could see it where it'd be no relegations. But because England has so many leagues, I think it would be a bit unfair in terms of the promotions, because there are automatic promotion places, and I see a situation whereby next season, instead of having 20 teams in the Premier League, there will be 22, and it'll be the two automatic spots from the Championship that gets those two. And then the same thing goes for League One to the Championship, and then League Two to League One. I could see those where the automatic spots, or they'll get promoted up to their division, and then for one season only, the league will be slightly longer. But I do think that probably the season would have to start maybe slightly earlier, which some might argue and say that that possibly won't happen, especially looking at how other leagues are making decisions. But that's just my initial suggestion on how things are going to go. But it really is looking like we might actually forfeit and cancel the league. That it might be a situation if it's like the Eredivisie where there are no promotions, no champions. Uh, what does it say here? No relegations, and let's say European places will stay as is depending on current positions. And right now, how it is looking is not great if you're an Arsenal fan. I honestly would say that. I mean, haven't looked at the table in a month, and we're ninth. You know, and to be honest, to do it that way would probably be fair for everyone. It really would. It, re- it really would be fair for everyone, to be honest, for it to be like that. Man City obviously would be out because their financial fair play mistake. So that means that Leicester, Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, and Manchester United will get the Champions League spots. Wolves and Sheffield United will get the automatic Europa League spots. And then Tottenham would actually go and get the that last European spot, but they would start their season a lot earlier. Or I don't know how that extra spot is going to deal with. What does that mean? Maybe that might change, but if it was based on how the Eredivisie are currently doing things right now, that's how it would look, and Arsenal would just miss out on a European spot. For us, financially, it would be big, absolutely big. We would have to trim the wage budget by a hell of a lot. I mean, if you don't already know, I mean, it's said this countless of times that Arsenal right now have a Champions League budget, or Champions League players on a Europa League budget, and we just can't sustain that. And I feel that with this COVID-19 thing, this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And I really do see a mass exodus. And this is a good segue into a lot of the transfer rumours that I'm hearing. And I would say there are a lot of players that are rumoured to be leaving. It does mean that a lot of players, for instance, don't have, well, a lot of teams don't have a lot of money, at least initially. But I really do think that the January transfer window is going to be big. I think that the summer one might not be that great, but the January transfer window is going to be absolutely chock blocked with loads of transfers flying all over the place. I really do concede that. And when you look at some of the players that have been rumoured to leaving, I mean, there are some obvious candidates. Mkhitaryan, his transfer rumour to Roma. El Nene, he's still lingering around on loan. But then some of the surprising ones, or like Lacazette, well, maybe not Lacazette, but Guendouzi. I've heard of transfer rumours for him. Granit Xhaka, I've heard of transfer rumours in regards to him. Hector Bellerin. And then the ones that whose contracts are coming to an end in 2021. So the likes of Aubameyang, David Luiz, Socrates. You know, these are the players that we got to be looking at. Also, Maitland-Niles. I've heard some rumours about him as well. But it's a real tough situation with how it is. And right now in the Premier League, the FA have a big decision to make. Either way, I do see it being negatively affecting Arsenal. The only way for Arsenal to benefit from this is to finish the end of the season and hope that whatever training that we're doing on the side, that they're doing at home, all the tactics stuff that the players are working on, would traditionally be working with Arteta before games, that all of that, comes to be, and that we kind of move up and finish in a European position. But it will be tough. It will be tough. But my guess is that it's probably looking like it's going to be similar to the Eredivisie. And I really do think that unless the government get involved and say, like what's happened in France, and say there will be no more sport, like no more sport up until August, September time, that's the only way that I see uh, things staying as is. So if the government gets involved, things can change. But guys, what do you think? Where do you think that we're all going with this? Do you think that they're going to cancel the league like they've done with the Eredivisie, like they've done with France? Or do you think that we might actually look at the Germans and how they've done things and go around that route? Leave your comments below. Interested to hear what you guys have to say on this. What do you think of transfers? What's going to happen there? Lots and lots of unanswered questions. Players coming out, players coming in. It's all a mess. Absolutely all a mess. But leave your comments below. Interested to hear what you guys have to say. And I will see you all next time. Peace.